Here's a scene that plays out on just about any course on a Saturday afternoon. Group of four guys, late in the round, 11th green. One of them is sitting 40 feet from the hole. Big green, his ball is up on a ridge, the cup is down on the lower tier. He walks around the putt, looks at it from every side, takes his time. The other three are off to the side, leaning on their putters, kind of just watching, wondering if he's going to get it inside 10 feet. He steps up. Right before he hits, one of the other guys says under his breath, "Just lag it close, brother." The ball rolls down the slope, takes the break, ends up about 2 feet from the hole. His buddy goes, "Great lag." The guy taps in, the group keeps moving. I came into golf through work and had to understand how golfers talk. I didn't need expensive lessons or endless rabbit holes online. I wanted clarity. So I built a free place to start at learngolfterms.com/start. Again, it's learngolfterms.com/start to access and download the free training. That word lag gets thrown around constantly, and a lot of people use it without really thinking about what it's doing in the sentence. In putting, a lag is a long putt where you're not really expecting to make it. The goal is distance control. You want the ball to end up close enough that the second putt is easy, somewhere inside 3 feet if you can swing it. That's the move. You're aiming at the area around the hole more than the hole itself. It's a form of accepting that some putts are too far away to be heroic about, and the smart play is to walk off with a two putt and your dignity intact. The word also shows up in swing talk, where people say things like, "He's got great lag," or "You need more lag." Different territory. I'm not the guy to coach you through that one. The word means roughly the same thing in both places, though. Something that trails or hangs back. As a word in English, lag goes back to the 1500s. The verb to lag, meaning to move slowly or fall behind, shows up in print around the 1520s. The noun, used for a person who's last in a group, is a little earlier. The deeper roots are uncertain, but most etymologists point toward Scandinavian sources. Norwegian has the word laga, which means to go slowly. Some trace it through dialect words for last, lack, or delay. There was even an old term, lag tooth, from the 1600s that meant a wisdom tooth because it was the last one to come in. So, the DNA of the word is all about being behind, trailing, taking your time. When it landed in golf, it didn't need much translation. A lag putt isn't racing to the hole, it's arriving without urgency. The word and the shot match up. There's no documented story of one person inventing the phrase in golf. It seems to have grown into the game naturally, the way most putting language did, from people standing around the green saying what they saw. Lag is not an official term in the rules of golf. You won't find it in a definition section anywhere. There's no rule that treats a lag putt differently than any other stroke. From a rule standpoint, a 40-foot lag attempt counts on your scorecard the same way as a 1-foot tap-in. The word exists for strategy and culture. Saying, "I'm just trying to lag this," tells everyone in your group what your intent is without you having to explain. You're playing for position more than for the cup. The PGA Tour tracks stats that lean on the same idea. 3-putt avoidance. Putts from outside 25 feet. Even tour pros miss most of those long putts. What separates them is what happens after the miss. They tend to leave themselves something they can clean up. That's the whole reason the word lag has weight in golf. It names the difference between a quiet par and a double bogey when the only thing that changed was how the long putt rolled out. Chichi Rodriguez had a line in one of his books about hitting lag putts on the practice green before a round, just to learn the speed of the surface. That's the spirit of the word. If you want to feel more comfortable when golf comes up, I created something called Before Your First Tee. It is a short, focused program that helps you understand the language and follow what is happening in real conversations. You will know what people mean and how to respond without feeling lost. You can find it at learngolfterms.com/talk. That's learngolfterms.com/talk. Start feeling comfortable before the round even begins. In a casual weekend round, lag mostly comes out as a verb, and usually as advice your buddy is giving you, whether you asked or not. Just lag it up there. Don't try to make it, lag it close. Friendly stuff. maybe a little chirp in there if you've already three-putted twice that day. In a club competition or a member guest, the word gets quieter. People say it to themselves more than to each other. A guy reading a 50-foot putt in a match might mutter, I just need to lag this, as a way of telling his own brain to stop being a hero. In a charity scramble, lag almost disappears. Everybody's trying to make everything. The exception is the last guy to putt, who's usually already counting how many beers are waiting at the 19th. In corporate or client golf, lag turns into something close to good manners. Nobody wants to be the person who blows a putt 15 feet past the hole and slows the round down. So the language gets pulled back into the conversation more often. I'll just lag this one can be a polite way of saying, I'm not going to embarrass myself and I'm not going to hold us up. Lag has a low-key feel. There's no celebration in the word. You don't high-five a lag putt. The best you'll get is a quiet, good lag from someone in your group. Maybe a small nod. It's the sound of a putt that did its job. The texture under it is patience. The word lives in the part of golf where you accept that not every shot needs to be aggressive, and the smart play is to set up the next one. When you really pay attention to good players talking about lag putts, you'll notice they don't sound disappointed when one of theirs ends up 2 feet short. They sound like they did the job they came to do. You'll hear something like this on a long par 5 green. Two guys standing near the cart, one of them way out, the other one closer to the hole. The guy who's far out walks up, looks at the putt, and says to his buddy, I'm just trying to lag this thing. The buddy goes, 2 putt and run. He hits it. Ball ends up about 3 feet short. The buddy says, see, that's a lag. They walk to the hole, and the round keeps moving. A few different ways you'll hear lag used depending on the moment. Before a long putt, somebody might say, just lag it up there, or I gotta lag this, no chance I'm making it. After the putt, if it ends up close, you'll get something like, nice lag, or great lag, brother. Sometimes you'll hear it as a noun, the way somebody might say, that was a really nice lag for that distance. And every once in a while, when somebody guns one 10 feet past the hole, you'll hear the gentle correction, you didn't have to make it, you just had to lag it close. That last one is usually said by the person in the group who's already up 2 skins. Lag was one of those words I knew long before I had any real reason to use it. I'd hear it in commentary, hear it from guys at the range, hear it during tournament weekends on TV. I had a rough idea of what it meant, the way you have a rough idea about a lot of golf words when you're around the game without really playing it. The thing I missed for a long time was the strategy under it. Lag isn't just a description, it's a choice. Somebody saying, just lag it, is telling their own brain to stop trying to be a hero. That part took me a while to actually hear. Once I did, the word stopped being background noise and started doing real work in conversation. I'm still not the guy you want putting from 40 feet for the team. The word doesn't throw me anymore, though. When somebody says, just lag it, I know exactly what they're doing. Once you understand lag, a lot of putting conversations open up. You hear it in commentary all the time, especially during tournament weekends. You hear it in your group, you hear it on the practice green, you hear it from the guy who's been playing for 30 years and just casually drops it into a sentence like everyone in the world knows what it means. Now, when somebody says, I'm just trying to lag this one, you're not standing there nodding politely while wondering what they're doing differently from a regular putt. You know exactly what they mean. That scene at the top, the guy got his lag close and the group moved on. Most of golf is some version of that. All right, that's it. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you in the next one.